Hey there, this is Nick with Cruise and Family. Today I'm going to be talking to you about our year in review 2024 and our cruise preview for 2025. Join us. Well, we are a family of five. Welcome to our channel. This is our first episode of 2025. I am going to be talking to you guys about our experiences in 2024. But before we get to that, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Nick. I have a wife. Her name is Cheryl. Three awesome kids who are 10, and 12, and we love to cruise, we love to travel, we love to experience the world, and that is what our channel is all about. Today's episode is going to be reviewing what we did in 2024 and then looking at what we have planned in 2025. Jumping right in January of 2024, we went ahead and cruised on the Carnival Jubilee. This was a cruise probably 3.5 or 4 years in the making, and it was a reunion cruise. We went on the cruise with families that we had cruised with before out of Galveston, and it was an amazing event to lead up to. Cheryl, I, or the kids had never waited so long as we waited for this cruise. We got the opportunity to book in the 50th anniversary Carnival code. If you remember way back, and I think it was 2021, right after the Jubilee sailing dates were released, we had this code in our VIFP, and we went ahead and snatched it, and which made it possible for us to cruise 5 in one cabin, in a cabin type that we probably will never cruise in again. It was a suite, an aft XL suite, which if you've been in before, you know what I'm talking about. It's got 2 rooms. It's got a couch in one room, desk, chairs, really nice setup. In another room has a bed with a wonderful vanity. The bathroom is awesome. The shower is huge. There are 2 areas for getting ready in that bathroom, and what sells the room is nothing in what I just mentioned. What sells that room was the balcony. So the balcony opens up. There's a dining room table. There's some loungers. There's a huge circle round sitting chair. There's some more chairs. And then it wraps around, so you get aft views, and then you also get side views of the ship, from the ship. And at the very end, all the way back, is a tub. It's not a hot tub, because a hot tub you could put water in and then continue to heat it up. The water went into this tub, and the hottest it was at the beginning, and it would cool down from there. But the balcony was awesome. You can fit, we literally fit over 20 people on the balcony, and there was room to move around. So our itinerary with the Carnival Jubilee was a Western Caribbean itinerary. We went to Cozumel, we went to Costa Maya, and we went to Roatan, Honduras. It was our first time to Costa Maya, and I believe we did not get to go because it was too windy. And after seeing other people's videos after we came back, I'm actually really thankful that we ended up not going into see Costa Maya. I wish we could have gone in. I would have loved to go there, but we had another sea day with that. In Cozumel, we did a lot of time on the ship. Cheryl and I got off. We went in, we did a little bit of shopping, and we had a meal right by the ocean, right by the pier. It was beautiful. And later in that afternoon, it rained. But one of the perks of being in this type of cabin in an Excel suite is that you have access to Loft 19. So we spent a bunch of our day in Cozumel actually up on Loft 19, and there were maybe 8 people up there with us. So for such a large ship, it was definitely our own private kind of getaway. But we enjoyed our time up there. And then in Honduras, in Roatan, we went with Victor Baden. If you guys have ever been to Roatan and have had the opportunity to work with Victor Baden before, hopefully you've had the same experiences that we've had in the past. But Victor Baden, we've gone with, we've used his services multiple times. You can go onto their website. You're able to book private tour, basically a private tour for a plethora of different items. You want a beach break, they got it. You want to go see sloths, they got it. You want to go snorkeling, they got it. You want to go to the Little French Key, they got it. They'll do and cater to whatever you want to do in the privacy of your own transportation. So we were, being a family of 5, that's a huge plus for us. We love the fact that they were able to set up our itinerary around what we asked for. And this was not the first time we've used them. The time before, they were very amenable also. So I can say with pretty good certainty that if you are in Roatan and are looking at Victor Baden, it's definitely a worthy place to get excursion from. The cruise on the Jubilee was out of Galveston. Jubilee is still only sailed out of Galveston, so it makes sense that we would have gone on out of Galveston from there. The ship itself was beautiful. It was at the time the largest ship that we had ever sailed, and I love the underwater part over by Dr. Inks, and in that kind of promenade area. It really was like the center of our cruise experience. We loved one spot on that ship. If you're looking to go on the Jubilee, I would definitely highly recommend is between the Golden Mermaid and Dr. Inks. There's a hallway with some tables. It's a great place to people watch. It's a great place to socialize. It's a great place to meet people. And it's really centrally located to quite a few things. So if you are going on the Jubilee, this is definitely a place to check out at least once. All right, so the next cruise that we took in 2024 was in June of 2024, and we went on the Wonder of the Sea. First time on Royal Caribbean, first time going out of Port Canaveral. So lots of firsts for us. All right. First off, the cabin type that we stayed in, we stayed in an inside cabin with a virtual balcony. Now, if you've ever stayed in one of these type of cabins before, you know that you have a screen at the end of your room that videos in what's seen from one side of the ship. For us, we really kind of like the having that as part of our experience. It was really cool to be able to see what's happening on the outside of the ship without having to pay for a balcony or ocean view cabin. So it was definitely a plus. We were really impressed with the size of that cabin. For an inside cabin, I would say it possibly the largest square footage cabin, or at least felt like inside cabin that we've stayed in before. Another huge plus in that cabin on Wonder of the Seas was the on-demand TV. And I'm not talking about the stuff you're going to go ahead and pay for, but we were able to stream from our service, from our own Netflix account, TV up on the screen. And I know lots of people that cruise are like, why are you watching TV on a cruise? The way that my wife and I like to relax, one of the ways that we like to relax is by watching TV. And having that as something that was available to us was a benefit to us. So major plus to Royal Caribbean getting that set up. There was plenty of space. There was plenty of storage for two inside the cabin. We did not cruise with five. This was a getaway for my wife and I, something for us to experience together and be able to rejuvenate. So the cabin that we had was booked for just two. And you can check out our cabin tour. We have a cabin tour for this, also for the Jubilee. You can check out either one of them, what it was like for us. All right, so now talking about the itinerary. The itinerary for this cruise was an Eastern Caribbean itinerary. And I'm sure that many of you that are watching are like, oh, that's probably a standard type of cruise, Western Caribbean, then you went on the Eastern Caribbean. This was our fourth Caribbean cruise that we've ever gone on. The one on the Jubilee in January was our third. And we've been on over 20 cruises. So we're from the West Coast. So we have lots of experience on other types of cruises. But this was our fourth Caribbean cruise and our very first opportunity to go to the Eastern Caribbean. So never ever done this before, having been a veteran of cruising for 19 years, and to experience my very first Eastern Caribbean cruise was special for me. The ports that we visited were Perfect Day at Coco Cay. We visited St. Thomas and St. Martin. I'm going to go in the reverse order of where we visited. So we visited St. Martin last. We did get off the ship in St. Martin. We took the trolley in. It's kind of a long walk to onto the shore to be able to go in. Definitely longer than St. Thomas, but so we took that trolley in. We went over. We got tickets to take the water taxi across the bay there. We went into the main kind of city. And we found some chairs and an umbrella and some drinks, and we spent a solid couple hours just floating in the water, sitting in the chairs, and just enjoying our time. We felt safe there. It was a fun experience. I wish that we had maybe booked like a jet ski situation or gone over to Maho Beach to see the airplanes. Next time we're in St. Martin, definitely on my bucket list to go do. Coming now to St. Thomas. St. Thomas was a beautiful port to stop in. St. Thomas is a Virgin Island of the United States, so you're in the United States when you're there. We walked around. We did a bunch of shopping. We had gone into one establishment, and there was like a small casino. And so we came right out of there, and then we found some other shops. Cheryl got some earrings. We bought a couple other take-home things, and then we continued to walk. Our plan was to go over to Water Island to do some snorkeling at Honeymoon Beach. We got to the restaurant where you buy the tickets for that water taxi, and we chose to just have lunch, have a couple drinks, and then head back to the ship. But we enjoyed our time immensely there. The food there was great. In my vlog, which is on our channel, you can see I talk about the service and some of the other review points there. But definitely next time, hint, hint, coming up later in this episode, next time we're at St. Thomas, 100% plan to go over and do that turtle snorkeling over at Honeymoon Beach. And our last stop, or our first stop, was a Perfect Day at Coco Cay. This was our first time ever going to a private island owned by any cruise line. We had a wonderful experience. We got off the ship kind of early in the morning. We took the trolley in. We had passes to Hideaway Beach, Hideaway Bay. Come on, Nick. Hideaway Bay. We took a second trolley kind of over to there. We got off, went in. We found some awesome seats right close to the pool. we got into the pool and we enjoyed half a day in the pool, listening to music, hanging out with people. They had balls that were being passed around. It was really a great time, and definitely perfect day at Coco Cay. Coco Cay has hooked my wife. My wife absolutely loved her experience. One thing that I was kind of bummed out about is we had a great morning. We ate, we got hot. We went back to the ship because we wanted to cool down. We didn't come back in, and we didn't explore the rest of the island. So definitely something to do in the future, being able to go there and see what else is there. But having that opportunity to be just around other adults is really awesome. Not in a negative. I love kids. If you guys have seen our videos, you know that we cruise with kids to make memories with our kids. But for this getaway for my wife and I, it was a perfect opportunity and well worth what was an upcharge. So I would definitely, if Cheryl and I were just going again, I would definitely consider buying the pass again to go to that part of Coco Cay. All right, so the experiences on Wonder of the Sea. If you've been on her, you know she's a beautiful ship. She's huge. There are lots of spaces throughout. The neighborhoods definitely made me feel like I was on different parts or different ships. I would say probably my favorite neighborhood, my favorite area would have to be either the boardwalk or the solarium. Now, the reason that I say the boardwalk, and I'm probably going to end up, that's probably my favorite spot, is because Playmakers. I love Playmakers. You go get some wings, you can watch some games, you can have some beverages, and you were part of the crowd, but not having to be in the crowd. So it was a wonderful experience. The solarium was beautiful. Having it completely enclosed was a nice touch. They have pools and they have hot tubs in there. The pools are kind of like wading pools. It's not like a swimming like lap pool, but you also have hot tubs. We got in briefly to the hot tub a couple of days, I think. It's been a little bit, so but the solarium is also an awesome spot. We went a la carte for our beverages, and we did fine with that. I know that some people like praise a drink package, but we went a la carte. We did purchase, we did do the unlimited dining, which means that we went to so many different restaurants. We went to Hooked, we went to Wonderland, we went to Giovanni's, we went to Chops a couple of times. We went to 150, we went to Izumi, and like I said, I went to Playmakers and used my $20 of extra funds towards wings and nachos there. I think maybe 5 of the days out of the cruise. So definitely loved having that opportunity to eat at the many different restaurants on the ship. The entertainment on Wonder of the Sea blew me away. In another video, I talk about what my favorite was, and you can find it on our page. I don't want to give it away, but there really is so much to do, so much to see, so much entertainment to have, that, you know, really there isn't a limit to what your family probably can enjoy. And I would say, because we are a family channel, I'll say, even though we didn't have our kids with us, definitely can see many different places for our kids to go and kids to do and things to do. So definitely consider Wonder of the Sea. In October of 2024, we had the opportunity to go on the Carnival Firenze, which was out of Long Beach. So the type of cabin that we had were actually 2 connecting balconies. They were standard balconies, not extended, but we brought along Cheryl's mom, so grandma, and our kiddos and us. So there were 6 of us total in our party. You can go on and check out our cabin tours. We have both of them there. I tried to talk about the connecting in both videos, so if you only watch one, you don't have to see what it's like for the other. But having a connecting stateroom, especially when there's another adult that could stay in that room, really was a benefit because we're able to spread out. We had lots of room on our balcony because we were able to take down the barrier, or the divider, and then you end up with count them, two toilets, which is awesome for 6 people. So definitely something to consider if you are a family of 5 or party larger than 5 or larger. Definitely something to consider, needing that extra area to get ready and toilet to be able to use, which I know is weird to probably talk about, but it's definitely something to consider, especially if you have little ones, or not so little ones that are still. So the itinerary that we went on was a Mexican Riviera cruise. We went to Mazatlan, we went to Puerto Vallarta, and we went to Cabo San Lucas. In Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta, we stayed on the ship. And you might be wondering, well, why would you go there and do that? The point of the cruise for us was to be able to spend time with Grandma and to have her time with her grandchildren. We have been to Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan before. If you go to Puerto Vallarta, my very favorite thing to do there is to go to Dreams Are Secret, which is an all-inclusive package. You can come use their pool, use their beach, eat their food, drink their drinks. So, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful there. Mazatlan, you're able to get off the ship, you're able to go and do some light shopping in the port area. Those are the things that I would have done if we had gotten off the ship. We have been on the itinerary a half dozen times. We've gone, did a culture thing one time. We went to tequila tasting factory one time. We went and saw an old movie, Predator. They have all sorts of stuff out there. It's really awesome. I'll see if I can slip a picture. It's before I started vlogging, so I don't have a vlog on it, but a picture of some of what we saw somewhere on here. Maybe you're already looking at it. Cabo San Lucas, we did get off the ship. This is a tender port. If you've never tendered before and this is the first opportunity that you're going on it, I would say just take some breaths, trust the people that are helping you get on and off the ship. And I say that because more times than not, and like I said, we've been to Cabo San Lucas, I don't know, I think 8 times, somewhere in that vicinity. The tendering is always rough. It's very bumpy there. So there's quite a bit of movement between the ship and the tender, the water taxi, whatever they're going to call it. But we went ahead. I got off with my daughter, with Grace. We tendered in. We walked around a little bit. She wanted to buy something, so she went into one store, a second store, and then I think we found something in the third store. And then I said, "What else do you want to do?" She said, "I want to get back on the ship." So we had a long boat ride in and out with a brief stop for shopping, and then we went back to the ship. Funny story, her and I were going to be the only ones that were getting off. Everybody else was like, "I don't want to go into Cabo. I don't want to go into Cabo." We walked away. We got onto the tender. And then my other daughter and my sons were both like, "What are you talking about? They went into Cabo?" So they got off kind of right as we were getting back to the ship. They got off and went into Cabo San Lucas, and did a very similar experience as what I did. It was a very short stop there for whatever it's worth. So our overall experience with this itinerary, with this cruise, I had a great time. I loved it. My kids loved it. They, the water slides were nice. The decor of the ship was really nice. I thought We've been on other Vista class ships before, the Panorama a couple of times. So we knew the layout pretty well. And because we knew the layout pretty well, it was easy to navigate. We didn't have a learning curve at the start. And we took full advantage of the steakhouse we had booked for the first night, of beverages, drinking. We went up to the pool deck, engaged in, I think there was I think it was like underhand toss beanbag deal. We watched all of that. It was a great time. All right, so for cruising, that was our 2025. We made it all the way through 2025. And I feel very fortunate. I know that, being able to go on 3 cruises a year, we don't typically do that. But each one of them had their own meaning. The first one, we have been waiting for close to 700 days. The second one was a getaway for Cheryl and I to reconnect. And then the third was a family trip plus grandma. But we had a great time on all of them, and different itinerary on all of them. 2 that were those Caribbean cruises are unusual for us, and then 1 that we're pretty used to, which is that Mexican Riviera. But if you've been on any of those itineraries, leave a comment down below what you've enjoyed in them and what you did on your chance to go to either Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, or Mexican Riviera. All right, so coming now into 2025, we are recouping from all of that cruising, like I said. But now I'm going to talk about the 2 trips that we have planned or tentatively planned for 2025. The first trip that we have planned for 2025 will be in May. At the end of May, we're flying to New York City. We're going to spend 3 or 4 or 5 days. We haven't bought the tickets for the flight yet, but up to 5 days in New York. So we're going to see New York. We're going to try to do New York as much as possible. We have booked our hotel, so we're going to stay in downtown Manhattan, which is not a typical spot for people, I think. Or maybe I'm getting the name wrong. In the financial area, over by where the 9/11 memorials are. So we're going to stay at the Millennium Hotel there. And some of the views that are just outside those windows are amazing. So really looking forward to that trip. So looking forward for you, like if you're like, oh, well, how does this affect me? All the things that I just talked about, like we did videos on and showed. You can go back and watch them. But for you coming up, things to look forward to. We're going to do daily vlogs of every day of what we do in New York. We're going to go, we're planning on going obviously to like Ellis Island, past the Statue of Liberty. We plan on doing one of the towers where you can look over and see everything. We haven't narrowed down which one. There are 2 that we're deciding between. We're going to go to Times Square. We're going to go to Central Park. We have a friend that's from New York that's going to give us kind of a rundown of what to do and what to see there. We want to go to Wicked. We have an eye on our tickets. We don't want to buy them yet because we don't have plane tickets yet. But we're planning on going to Wicked on Broadway. And if you have ideas or things that I didn't list off that you're like, hey, you got to see this, you got to go do that. We're going to go see Empire State Building. Just so many things that we have planned. So at the end of May, look for our daily vlog. And what would a cruise trip be without daily vlogs of our cruise? So we're going to New York, so that on the 30th, we're going to sail on the Symphony of the Seas to to an Eastern Caribbean kind of Bahamas cruise. So that itinerary is going to look something like Port Canaveral, which is the United States, Nassau, which for somebody that's cruised over 20 times, I think it's 23. This will be cruise number 23. This will be my first time in Nassau, which it's like the corner store for cruises. Most people that have gone on a cruise have been to Nassau. This will be my first time. And then we are going to go to Coco Cay, which is awesome because Symphony of the Seas, just a little bit older than Wonder of the Seas, but same class of ship. We're going to get our kids to be able to go on that cruise. And one of the things that we said last summer is like, oh man, we wish the kids were here to do that, or to do that, or to do that. So all of those things, the water park, the zip lining, the abyss, the flow rider, all of those things, plus being able to go to Coco Cay and enjoy. We are jazzed about this cruise. So for you all, for our viewers, look forward to those daily vlogs. They're going to be coming out. And the type of cabin that we have booked is a spacious interior cabin. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. If you're a family of 5 or 6 and want one cabin, this is for you. Get on these Oasis class ships. Look for a spacious interior. Look for a spacious ocean view room. There is the 2 twins that combined into that Royal King, plus a couch, plus 2 bunks that are right by the front door. And the room is wider. There's more room inside the room. So definitely something that we're looking forward to is that interior room. It's going to be, it's part of the cruise that we're looking forward to. And the interior room, you're like, oh man, you're not going to like that. I love interior rooms because they get nice and dark. They get nice and dark for me to sleep in. So I'm so excited about that cruise for the room type that we have. We went ahead and booked the unlimited dining package for that cruise coming up. We want the kids to be able to go to Wonderland and experience all of those things. And the Black Friday deal that they had going, it was like they were giving it away. The price came in well below what a normal cost would be for that. So super excited about that. And yeah, the Symphony of the Seas looks beautiful. We've seen lots of, I go on YouTube all the time. I love going on YouTube to find out information. And part of the reason that I come on here and talk about what I experienced is because of what I've seen the other people experience. So, if what we talk about or things that you can relate to or whatever the case may be, if you like what we do, consider subscribing to us, consider giving us that thumbs up, making sure that you're following so that you can see this awesome content coming up. All right. I think the biggest draw for the Symphony for me is that connection to family. And I know we went on the Wonder of the Sea. We should have taken our kids on that cruise, but I think that our family's going to love the cruise. My kids are going to love the water slides and all those activities that I just ran down and ran through. Cruise number 2, and probably the only other cruise that we'll take this year. So if you're like, oh man, you're going to reduce the amount of cruises, it probably will. This will probably be the only other cruise that we take. We are 98% sure we're going to book the Star of the Seas in October of 2025. Star of the Seas in 2025. You guys get that, right? You guys heard what I just said? This will be the largest ship in the world. This will be the newest biggest thing out there. And we are looking to book in October for our fall break of 2025. The itinerary that we're looking at is going to be Eastern Caribbean itinerary. It's just a little bit different than the one we went on before. It will be leaving out of Port Canaveral. Yay, I love that port. And it'll be going to St. Thomas. It'll be going to San Juan, new port for us, and Coco Cay. Ocean View Infinite Balcony. Ocean View Infinite Balcony. Have you guys checked this thing out? Have you gone online and seen what they're doing? Have you been on Icon already? Like, you're like hyped. You're like, oh, you're going to love it. I'm going to love it. And here's why. Infinite Balcony places the balcony inside of the cabin. I don't know if you guys get what that means. You have more square footage inside your cabin. So the balcony goes all the way up, the cabin goes all the way up to the edge of the balcony. And from what I've seen, you push a button and the window rolls down, and then you have like full access to the outside air. You push the button, it rolls back up. You push another button, and then there's a screen that comes down and blocks it. So, if you just heard what I said about inside cabins and it getting nice and dark, that window at nighttime we can shut completely, and it'll be nice and dark in there. So we're getting best of the world of inside cabin that I love, and the balcony, which Cheryl loves. And so if you've sailed on the Icon of the Seas and you've been in that cabin type, write in the description below what your experience was. Let me know. I want to hear about it. I want to know about it. I want to hear your experiences, and let me know if I'm making a mistake or if it's going to live up to the hype that I think of in my head. So my expectation from the Star, to be honest, I've held off on watching lots of videos about the Icon class, specifically because I want to have an opportunity to enjoy the Oasis class. And the Oasis class, there's some positives to the Oasis class. Don't think that Icon is coming in and it's just going to be Oasis's old time. One big positive in that Oasis class that is not available on these Icon class ships is that 5-person interior and ocean view spacious cabin, which is a big deal for families like mine. It's a big deal because booking that second cabin takes on a whole new level of dedication. We usually will pay for grandma, grandpa, someone to come along with us so that we can have that other adult in the other room to be with our kids. Our kids are not 16, 17, 18 years old. They're still of the younger age. So definitely when you're thinking about the Icon versus the Oasis, if you're a family like ours, definitely consider that as one of the draw points. But some of what I've seen about the Icon class, it looks awesome. The ship looks awesome. I don't know if Icon is awesome or not. I've never been on it, but I am super stoked about October of 2025. All right, so this is going to draw me to the end of my video. I know that I was long-winded. There was a lot to cover here. I'm planning on, once I get caught up, bringing out a video each week. I'm going to probably put a couple of videos out in the next couple of days for episodes 1, 2, and 3. And in the next couple episodes, I'm going to talk about cruising in January or the wintertime. And then also what it's like to cruise from Long Beach, especially for people that may not live in the area. So I'm going to give some tips and tricks to that. And then we're going to get into talking about some of our different experiences, giving some tips to some cruisers out there, and bringing some great content about cruising. So I hope that you enjoyed our time. If you're still watching, thank you so much for following all the way to the end and listening to me. I hope that it was engaging. I hope it was informative. And please let me know how I can improve. What else you would like to hear about, and anything else that you wanted to share with me, please come on and do so. I'm here for you. I'm doing this for the purpose of getting information out there to help like-minded people that love cruising, families that want to hear about cruising, and especially larger families like 5 or more, how we do it, and can see some of those experiences. So thank you guys so much. You're awesome, and I look forward to hearing from you. Leave those comments down there. Bye.